The New Balance Rebel V5 is everywhere. Well, it's everywhere on the internet. I haven't actually seen it outside too much. But is it as versatile as all of that coverage might suggest? First, let's start off with the stats. Boom. Now we don't have to talk about those again. And I paid for this pair of shoes with my own money. And yes, I picked the most boring looking colorway ever. We'll get back to the specific reason for that a little bit later in the video. And as of right now, I'm about 30 miles into this shoe over a series of easy runs, tempo runs, and interval runs. So let's talk about what I've liked and what I've disliked over my couple of weeks of use with this shoe. And let's start with the dislikes. The very first thing I don't like about the Rebel V5 is kind of a weird one. Sometimes when walking, I get a pop out of the shoe. It doesn't seem to be from the foam or the midsole. It seems to be something in the upper. It's very frustrating because I can't get it to recreate that as I record it for the video. So I guess you'll just have to take my word for it. Now, it's not all the time, and it doesn't happen when I run, but it's enough that the shoe makes me feel like I'm going crazy when a pop does happen. The next thing that I don't like is the upper kind of rubs the top of my foot when walking. Now this doesn't happen when I'm running. This only happens when I'm walking, and we will talk more about the overall comfort when running here in a little bit. But I bought this to do both walking and running, and in my normal size 10.5, it does walk a little bit less comfortably than it runs. I also don't love the colorways, not just this one. I actually quite like the way this shoe looks. That's the reason I bought it. The rest of the colorways, they don't really do it for me though. Yes, that's a personal preference thing, but it's a YouTube video, and that's all about personal preference. For example, I love how the red/pink New Balance Super Comp Trainer V3 looks. Like this right here might be my favorite looking shoe of all time. I love white uppers with bold midsoles. But this kind of lightning thing they're doing with the thing, ugh, I think it looks kind of meh. Okay, we're gonna transition to the likes, but let's get into something weird about the likes first. The first run, I really disliked this shoe because it didn't feel like anything. This looks and does have a huge stack of foam here in the bottom, but it's not all that bouncy, nor is it squishy. And paradoxically, it doesn't feel firm either. And that did start as a dislike. I was like, why? Do I have a shoe on? But over the course of the runs, I've actually really started to like the non-feeling feel of this shoe. It is, if you think I'm not describing well, I find it hard to describe. But the shoe disappears underfoot, which is crazy. When I put this on for a run, it vanishes on the foot. Clearly it has enough foam and protection that if I was running barefoot, it might hurt or feel way different. But this is light enough and foamy enough that it just lets me run. I never think about this shoe when I'm running, and that's pretty cool. I also really like the mechanics of the shoe that leads towards it having that vanishing act. I'm a pretty firm mid-foot striker, and at a 6mm drop, I find this not to be too low and not too high. I have recently gotten along with higher drop shoes, but 5 to 6mm for me is the perfect sweet spot where my kind of clompy running gait works best. Now you can't see the quotations that I put around best in the script, but just we both know that they're there. That geometry combined with its lightweight has made this great for me both in easy runs and workout runs. It just helps to turn over in whatever pace I want without feeling like I have to fight the shoe to either run slower or run faster. Despite this being marketed as a faster training shoe, I think it's more of a generalist shoe than anything else I own. I would not pick this for any specific runs, but I do pick it up for the versatility, which leads to the next thing I've liked. The versatility. I really like that this colorway is professional enough that I can use this as a travel, do everything shoe when I need to travel for work, but I still want to run. And a lot of times on my work trips, space is limited. That's so awesome. I used to bring 2 or 3 pairs of shoes, and now I just bring this and my fancy leather work shoes. I love not having to bring an extra pair of shoes to be comfortable on the trip and then run when I get there. I also really like the price. $140 is pretty good for a performance running shoe. Oh, I also like that you can heel lock and double knot the laces with the included set. So you also don't have to inflate the price of the shoe by about $10 to get another set of laces. Now it is close. I'm not gonna lie to you today. It is close. These laces don't make it the easiest tie, but you can do it, so it gets the W for me. But at the end of the day, who cares, right? Again, it is hard to recommend running shoes to folks as literally every person on this planet runs differently, and all of us are affected by shoes differently. So if I was going to reframe the question, would I buy the Rebel V5s again? Well, yes and no. In the existing use case that I have for them as versatile travel/running shoes, yes, absolutely. These are the only running shoes that I've purchased so far that I, Gary, would want to travel with work companions in them. However, if I was looking for just a running shoe to buy, I probably wouldn't get these again. Now, it's not the shoe's fault, but at the same price point is the juggernaut of the Evo SL, which for me is the best running shoe of the year so far, right? It's only August. If I'm just getting one individual shoe, it's the Evo SL. But what about you? Do you have the Rebel V5? Let us all know your experience in the comments below, and thanks for watching.